All right, the Utah Jazz lose again tonight to the Los Angeles Lakers, and Dalton Knecht, holy smokes, was he great tonight for the Lakers. It definitely appears, and let's just talk about the Lakers a little bit. A lot of these players that get drafted, you have certain guys that if you just get them in the right situation, they can absolutely blow up. What an absolutely perfect situation for Dalton Knecht to be playing next to LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves. That team has so much passing and veteran leadership and just smart players on the floor with just massive talent. He could not be in a better situation. He starts tonight, and when you consider that he's playing off of LeBron James, what a perfect player for the Lakers to get Dalton Knecht, who now can just be that spot-up shooting guard with LeBron James, knock down those threes. Look at this. Tonight, LeBron James with 12 assists. I mean, LeBron is just so great. You know how he's going to just prove it every single night that he is just still one of the dominant players in the NBA. Tonight, 52 from the field. He only was 20% from three, but it doesn't matter. 63% from the line. But yeah, those 12 assists just remind you he is so incredible. Only 2 rebounds tonight. Interesting. But Dalton Knecht was the story tonight. Tonight, he ties the rookie record for 3. By the way, tying Keonte George, who was also very impressive tonight. But 9 for 12 from 3. At one point, he was going crazy. There was a quote from Will Hardy that was kind of fantastic that from Andy Larson, where Will Hardy said, in the second half, it seemed like everybody in the gym knew that Dalton Knecht was going to shoot the next shot, with the exception of a few people. The problem was that those few people were on our team. Wow! Quote of the night. Absolutely. But anyways, Utah, there were times, but you watch those threes and he was kind of scoring on everybody. Utah just had to figure out how to do it. I mean, if it was back in the Kobe days, Kobe would have face guarded Knecht and not let him score. So, you know what? The Utah Jazz could have taken a page out of the Kobe Bryant book. And they did not. But anyways, the Lakers won the game. I will say that the Jazz brought it back late, made it respectable. The Lakers could not rest their guys in the fourth. They had to play the whole game. So if there's one thing you can be happy about with the Jazz fan, it's that moral victory. A season of moral victories. But what we don't need is actual victories. And that's why tonight was nice for the Utah Jazz. Utah goes into this, and, you know, you got to give a little bit of credit to Utah, because that Lakers, is it the Staples Center still, or is it Crypto.com Arena? I can't remember what it's called. In fact, I'm now curious. It is Crypto.com Arena. I don't know how well that aged. But anyways, the crowd was absolutely going bonkers. Knecht was literally hitting every single one of his threes. And Utah hung in there and did not let that faze them. They actually came back. Shout out to Keonte George, who really looked nice during that stretch and was able to just kind of keep the Jazz in the game, to keep it respectable. The Jazz actually came back at one point. So, pretty impressive. Let's go through the Jazz roster here. Markkanen, who has not had the most impressive season from 2, is still hitting from 3. He hits 37% from 3 tonight. I was on the playback tonight. By the way, if you want to watch the playback, I do it live. Go to playback.tv and search SLC Dunk, and you can watch the game live with me. I'm there every game. But 25 points for Markkanen, 8 rebounds. He had 1 assist, 2 steals tonight. But I think at this point, and obviously the season's young, but with what age Lauri Markkanen is, with what contract he's at, we kind of know what Lauri Markkanen is. And what he is a very, very, very good off-ball player. I don't know if he's ever going to be an ISO player that the Jazz seem to be wanting to turn him into. And that's okay. He is arguably one of, if not the best off-ball player in the league when it comes to just his off-ball scoring. Now, there's better off-ball players. Like, you look at some of the guys that once they get the ball and they do some things, they're great. But when it comes to just as an off-ball shooter, Markkanen is absolutely in the conversation. He can shoot, but it has to be catch-and-shoot threes. He is not a pull-up three-point shooter. He is almost purely catch and shoot. But guess what? He does all of his scoring at a really high level. And so when you have Utah setting him up in a nice way, he does well. Whether it's cutting in the half-court offense, whether it's driving in transition, or just getting those catch-and-shoot threes from all over the three-point line, he does a lot. So, nice night for him. Kyle Filipowski, the numbers aren't super impressive tonight, but his play has been. Look at this. He finds ways. He is a winning player. He helps you win in different ways. He finds ways to help. Yes, he only had 3 points tonight, but look at this. 6 assists from Filipowski, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. He is turning into an impressive rookie. And it's, you know what? I wrote about it in the tanking guide on SLC Dunk, but actually in the injury report, Walker Kessler has like hip bursitis. I don't know when he's going to come back. That may be worse than we think, according to like WebMD. But anyways, what has happened because he's resting is it has given Kyle Filipowski more opportunities, and he looks really nice. And I actually made a poll in the chat during the playback. If you had to choose, who are you choosing? If you had to choose between Kyle Filipowski and Walker Kessler, it's a tough choice, but I think it's a debate, which is not something I think anybody expected going into this season after the Jazz get Filipowski in the second round. He's been so impressive and a pleasant surprise for Utah. Does really well. So 1 for 3 from the field, but 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Got to be happy. John Collins has arguably been the best player for the Jazz this season. Obviously, Markkanen has a case, but Collins has been so consistently good. 18 points tonight, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He does have the 2 actually, they're less than I thought, 2 turnovers. But he's shooting it out. Look at this. 57% from the field and 50% from 3. He is just playing really well. In fact, I want to look at his stats for the season. I don't know if this includes tonight's stats, but 17, just a hair under 18, a hair under 8 rebounds, and 2.6 assists. Pretty darn nice. If he's getting 18 and 8, and then you look at the percentages, he's only 27. The percentages, he's shooting 52% from the field and 36% from 3. He's got a case for most improved player. He's playing fantastic for Utah. Now, does anyone out there give Utah an offer? I think Utah will definitely listen. But I don't know if there's a team out there that wants to take on $26 million of John Collins. I guess never say never. He's playing at a high level. I think he would be a backup center on a really good team, and he's a backup. Right now he's starting for Utah, but that's because Walker Kessler's out. But he plays backup center for Utah, and he does a good job. He does a really nice job. Colin Sexton had another nice night. He is just consistently putting up great numbers. He plays kind of that off-ball playmaker, secondary scorer role, and he does really well within it. Tonight, 50% from the field, 50 from 3, perfect from the line, 19 points, 4 assists. You can't argue with it. It's great production. He does a really nice job. He's also one of the funniest players. Like when he went up against LeBron, put his elbow in LeBron's back, and you could tell it annoyed LeBron. That was hilarious. I love Colin Sexton. I would not be surprised if a team like the Lakers might look at bringing on Colin Sexton. There's got to be a contender out there that could use this efficient off-ball scoring. It's what Sexton does. He's going to be around 40% from 3 again when all is said and done, and he scores at a high level. He plays super fast. Fantastic stuff. All right, guys, another great, I know last game was a stinker, but 5 of the last 6 nights, Keonte George has played really well. Tonight, he absolutely played great and was kind of trading baskets for a little bit there with Knecht. He goes 4 for 7 from 3, 7 for 13 from the field. This is what we've been watching. Can he get this 2-point percentage up? And he absolutely did. 6 assists, 18 points, and only 1 turnover. He is playing great, guys. Offensively, he's playing great. Now, can he play better defensively? Probably. I don't think he's been bad, but can he turn himself into a semi-plus defender? That would make him so interesting and so compelling as a core part of the Jazz future. I think he's honestly solidifying himself. Do I think that Keonte George is going to be the primary option, number 1 guy on this Jazz team in the future? Absolutely not. But I do think, in terms of the Utah Jazz offense, if Keonte George is your 3rd or 4th option, and he is on a trajectory like he's on right now, where he's scoring more and more efficiently. In fact, I just want to bring it up. then I think absolutely he's a core piece of this future. Right now, he's averaging 14 and just a hair under 15 points per game, 5.5 assists and 2.8 rebounds per game. I don't know if these are updated from tonight, so I don't know if the percentages will be quite there. But look at this. 36% is up from, what was it, 31 the other night, and now 32.7. That's down from yesterday because he went 1 for 8. But this is slowly creeping up. And I think it's safe to assume that he is going to be over this season, over next season, and that he's going to be 36 to 40% from three. He's figuring it out. Now, it could go wrong. It could go another way, but it's certainly looking like this is going up. And remember, he has lowered his field goal attempts this season. They went way up to start the season, and he's actually curtailed those. Tonight, he did it again, I believe. He only shoots 13 tonight, but he was shooting it well, so that's what you want him to do. But remember, not last night, but the game before, he only took 10. So he is absolutely developing. And if people aren't watching, they're missing out, because it's fun to watch these guys just get better and better each night. And then, you know what? When Keonte George goes to the bench, you're bringing on Isaiah Collier and Jordan Clarkson. Collier did not shoot the ball well tonight, arguably one of his worst nights. But I tell you what, he still finds ways to impact the game. He had these 4 turnovers. It was funny, like 2 or 3 of these, he immediately stole the ball after. So he had 4 turnovers and then would go the other direction and just steal the ball back. And I talked about this, I think, on the last show and with Sven during the live stream, but he is a special steals defender. There's kind of like 2 types of steals that you get in the league, and not everyone can do them both. The one that a lot of players do is where you jump the lane and you get the steal. Like you kind of, the player kind of sees where the pass is going. You know what I'm talking about? You jump in, you deflect the pass, and you go the other way. Or you get a steal off of someone kind of in the post, and you just kind of pull the ball away. There's a second type of steal that's rarer and much more impressive, in my opinion. And they're kind of the Kawhi Leonard type steal, where you're guarding a guy on the perimeter and you literally just take the ball out of their hands. You know, and not even necessarily just, you know, when guys are crossing up and like some of those good defenders will tap the ball when they're trying to cross the ball over in front of them, and you get a lot of steals that way. The steals where you're taking the ball just right out of their hands, he does it. It's really awesome. That's 2 nights in a row. In fact, so I don't know if they have his, in fact, let's just do it. I'm going to go to Basketball Reference right now. And let's go to Isaiah Collier. They won't have tonight, but let's go. What a steal he's been for Utah to get him at like pick 29. Where did they pick him? Yep, 29th overall. What an absolute steal. I mean, honestly, after the lottery, when you're drafting in the first round, and especially the second round, that's why the Filipowski pick is unbelievable also. But to get someone in the late first round that actually is a part of your team is a crapshoot. It is just not guaranteed at all. And we're absolutely seeing that. He's only shooting 11% from 3. That's going to be an issue. So he's going to have to figure that out. But let's go to his game logs. In fact, here, let's go to these last 3 games. Let's see. Last 3. So right here, 3-1 on steals, 2-0-3. Tonight he had 3. He is going to start averaging, 2.2 to 3 steals per game if he gets consistent minutes. I mean, in these ones, look at this. He's just getting low teens and not getting as many, but he's still getting these steals. 3 steals in just 18 minutes is crazy. Is crazy town. 2 steals, 26 minutes. Tonight, he does 3 steals in 19 minutes. It's pretty awesome. And so it creates transition opportunities. It's something to watch. Now, 11% from 3, not good enough. That is going to be the thing. Teams are just going to flat out not guard him. And so he's going to have to just keep working on it, improve that 3-point shot. And when he does, it makes him really interesting because he's so fast and he's so strong and getting to the basket. And then you combine that with his assists. I mean, 4 assists in 19 minutes. What's that per 36? Another 8 to 10 assists. He is a really fun player. It's just the 3-point shot. If he can figure that out, it turns him into something really nice. A really nice player. But you've got to figure out the 3-point shot because come playoff time, If the other team knows that he can't knock down that three, they're not going to guard. It means they've got another star on their hands, and that player is going to get doubled. So Utah, the next step for Collier is just that 3-point shot, and he may not figure it out this year or next year, but as long as the Jazz continue with their developmental curve here, he will get it, and he's a lot of fun. He is great personality. You can tell he loves basketball, and he's got a lot of physical gifts. He is built like an absolute strong safety in the NFL. He's just so physically, you can just tell he's so physically strong. And then you combine that strength with his speed, and he's got a great handle, and he's fast in transition, and he scores at the hoop well. That 3-point shot is really the one missing piece, but we've said that about a lot of players. Jordan Clarkson did an audition for the Lakers today, and it was okay. 40% from the field is fine. He didn't hit the three tonight, but he still continues to improve just as a player. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Sorry, guys. But 18 points, and you know what? Jordan Clarkson has just evolved his game, and you just got to appreciate him for what he is. He's kind of in the twilight of his career in some ways. We'll see if Utah finds a trade. I don't know if they will, but for now, we should just enjoy Jordan Clarkson for what he is, who's a fun player, who is not very efficient, but a good guy and plays hard and does his best. He's doing his best, okay? But it's fun to watch. He's a fun player. Occasionally, you get those fun Jordan Clarkson plays, and he's been assisting the ball better. So you just got to give credit to Jordan Clarkson for evolving his game. Drew Banks had a running hook shot. Look at this. Drew Banks, the star of the Utah Jazz, Drew Eubanks, with the Magic Johnson running hook shot, goes perfect from the field. 8 points, 8 rebounds. You better watch yourselves, because when it looks like I lost my sound. You know what? The internet didn't want me to talk about Drew Eubanks. The internet can't handle the Drew Eubanks talk. But when Drew Eubanks comes to town, you better watch out. Drew Eubanks is here to punish those who don't want to get the rebound. Shout out to Drew Eubanks. Cody Williams had another kind of off night. It's not been great, guys. I don't know. It is interesting. Collier and Filipowski have been the most impressive rookies. Cody Williams had some moments last game, but they really went at him in this one. He only played 8 minutes. It's going a certain way, and he's got to figure things out, but he is not there. You can tell mentally it might be taking a toll. I don't know. I still think he's going to be fine, but it's going to take a little bit, and Utah's just going to have to kind of ease him in much more than we thought. It's going to take some time. He is, you know what? We're all rooting for him big time. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist in this one, but I tell you what, I'm not going to say much more than that. He just is obviously going to need some time. We know he can shoot the ball. We know he can do a lot of different things. He's long, but I think the strength aspect is not there. He really needs some strength and NBA conditioning to kind of be able to withstand some of the rigors of the game. It's pretty rough right now. So he's just got to get some strength so he can withstand that it's hard to go against LeBron James, by the way. That's kind of like many have tried, few have succeeded, right? And finally, Johnny Juzang, for whatever reason, he is kind of going through a slump at this point. He couldn't miss to start the year. He goes 1 for 5 in this one. He did have 5 rebounds. But all in all, a successful night for the Utah Jazz, because you saw some development from Keonte George. You saw some great things from Filipowski. Obviously not the scoring, but he did it in other ways. 6 assists, that's got to be a career high. Pretty awesome. The guy moves the ball. He is just a smart player and will make the right play. So really fun to see. All right. Let's pull this over here. Let's get the music going. And guess what? Utah has solidified that number 4 spot. Only a half game out of the number 1 spot in the lottery. Really great. Toronto wins yesterday. They're going to keep winning. I think Utah, for the most part, you can kind of lock them into the 2. Philadelphia has to start winning at some point. I know Joel Embiid has been out of shape and Paul George has not looked quite as, although he's had moments where he's looked really good. And then at some point, Maxi's coming back. This team will at least start winning. I think Utah has a real shot at just kind of being for sure bottom 2. And remember, the Spurs got Wembanyama. They went into it at the number 2 spot. So Utah needs to get one of these 2. So even if they get jumped, they still keep their position. So if Utah's here at 2, gets jumped by 2 teams, they still pick at 4, and that still gets you someone like Dylan Harper or Igor Demon. So that's something Utah wants to do. And by the way, we got to keep watching Minnesota. Every loss matters. So if Minnesota can somehow fall into this lottery, which I don't think is out of the question, that would be phenomenal for Utah. Orlando's still winning games. I don't know why I'm thinking about Orlando, but at some point Banchero's coming back. We'll see. Anyways, if the lottery were today, what would happen for the Utah Jazz? Yeah! Utah goes to number 2. They get their pick of Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, or Igor Demon, baby! How about Charlotte getting Cooper Flagg? What a lucky thing for them. Let's see. New Orleans would have to be happy because they get the Milwaukee pick. All right, let's see here. So that gets Jazz. Like I said, their pick of these 3 guys. And if someone's silly enough not to pick Cooper Flagg, then you get Cooper Flagg. And crazier things have happened, right? So pretty nice to see. Number 2 for Utah. Yeah! Utah jumps, baby. Makes me so happy. Let's put that on the average. So last time we had number 6. Today, number 2, baby. All right, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. If you are a Jazz fan or an NBA fan and haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Like and subscribe right this moment. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can hit join and become a member, whether it's an All-Star or a rookie. If you're an All-Star, you get that executive producer status and the Hoops Nerd nickname. So let's go through our All-Stars tonight. Let's see. Gotta pull it up. All right, let's give a shout out to Ryan, Edward Perry, the legend, Baby Elliott Madsen, see ya, Lexalator, Christian House Money to Haas, The Outlaw, Jesse James Nelson, Jordan the GOAT, Best Roll, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, KG10 to TH5, and Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur. We got to give KG10 a nickname. He's got to be one of, like, the OG. Let's give KG the OG. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like I said, I will talk to you next game. By the way, more produced videos. My last one did well, and I really liked it. So go watch my the reason why the NBA wants Cooper Flagg in Utah. Go watch it, guys. All right, I'll talk to you next time.